Have you ever noticed strange shadows at night? Or maybe you've heard stories about mysterious creatures hiding in the dark. Today, we'll uncover who steals our nightmares, meet ancient beings from Egypt, and reveal the secrets of Japan's mythical monsters. The chupacabra is one of the most mysterious and terrifying creatures of modern folklore. Its name translates to goatsucker, and for a good reason. Its main characteristic is attacking livestock and draining their blood. The first reported sighting of the chupacabra was in 1995 in Puerto Rico. Locals began finding dead goats with distinctive puncture wounds on their necks, completely drained of blood. Over time, reports of the mysterious creature spread to Mexico, the United States. But what does the chupacabra look like? Descriptions vary from a small, dog-sized monster to a creature almost as tall as a human. It is often depicted with gray or scaly skin, glowing red eyes, and spines running down its back. Some say it moves by hopping like a kangaroo. Some eyewitnesses claim to have seen the chupacabra in person. Strange tracks resembling clawed feet have been found in different parts of the world, and farmers have reported eerie noises at night. On the internet, you can find videos and photographs allegedly showing this creature, but their authenticity remains in question. But does the chupacabra really exist? Scientists suggest that the legend may be based on sick animals, such as coyotes suffering from severe mange. However, mysterious carcasses and unusual tracks continue to fuel speculation. Have you ever heard the legend of a bird that never truly dies? Meet the phoenix, a legendary bird that doesn't die but is reborn from its own ashes. The first mention of the phoenix appeared in ancient Egypt over 4,500 years ago. There, it was known as Bennu. The phoenix is a symbol of immortality and the cycle of life. According to legend, once every 500 years, it sets itself on fire, only to rise from the ashes even stronger. Its tears can heal any wound, and its feathers are said to grant longevity. There are rare historical mentions of mysterious flaming birds. Some travelers claim to have seen a bright red bird with golden feathers soaring in the sky. In 1862, American newspapers reported a sighting of a blazing bird over the Arizona desert at sunset. And in 2013, a viral photo spread across the internet showing a massive firebird flying over the Brazilian jungle, though later it was revealed to be an optical illusion caused by sunlight. Today, the phoenix is everywhere, from emblems and crests to movies and video games. It has appeared in Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts, and countless myths across cultures. Is the phoenix real? Scientifically, no. But as a symbol of hope and rebirth, it has lived in human imagination for thousands of years. The next creature we will talk about in our video is the Sphinx. This legendary figure is not just a statue in Egypt or a mythical monster from ancient Greek legends. It is a symbol of mysteries, riddles, and challenges that must be overcome. The Sphinx first appeared in ancient Egypt, depicted as a stone statue of a lion with a human head. The most famous is the Great Sphinx of Giza, built around 2500 BCE. Pharaohs believed it guarded their tombs, and its silent gaze has endured through the centuries. However, the Greeks had a completely different vision of the Sphinx. They imagined it as a winged creature with the body of a lion or dog and the head of a woman. The Greek Sphinx was not just a guardian, but a true test for mortals. But what about real-life encounters? Of course, the Sphinx is a mythical creature, but its image is found everywhere. Stone sphinxes decorate bridges, buildings, and museums. On the internet, you can even find photos and videos where people claim to have seen a living Sphinx. But most likely, these are just tricks of light and shadow or someone's hoax. The Sphinx has always embodied mystery, but if it existed in reality, would we be able to solve all of its secrets? Perhaps in our time, it wouldn't guard ancient temples, but instead appear somewhere in a bustling metropolis, watching over people's lives from the heights of skyscrapers. Japanese demon Oni, a fearsome creature with bright red or blue skin, horns, and a terrifying expression. These beings are an essential part of Japanese legends, folklore, and even modern culture. But who are the Oni really? The first mentions of Oni appeared in ancient Japanese texts such as Nihon Shoki, 720 AD, and Kojiki, 712 AD. In early depictions, Oni were spirits of the underworld, punishing sinners. Over time, their image evolved. They became large, humanoid monsters resembling Western ogres. In Japanese Buddhist tradition, Oni often played the role of guardians of hell, punishing evildoers for their sins. Although Oni are mythical creatures, people have told stories of encounters with them for centuries. Some Japanese villages believe that Oni lived in the mountains or forests, emerging at night to frighten travelers. Even today, Japanese culture preserves festivals like Setsubun, where people throw beans and shout Oni wa Soto, demons out, to ward off evil spirits. Online, you can also find photographs and stories of alleged Oni sightings, but these are most likely myths or artistic interpretations. Today, the image of Oni is everywhere. In anime, manga, movies, and video games. Oni appear in works like Neo, Demon Slayer, Onimusha, and even in popular tattoos. However, they are no longer just demons. They have become complex characters symbolizing not only evil, but also power, retribution, and even protection. The next creature we will talk about is the mysterious Baku, the Japanese Dream Eater. It is not just a mythical beast, but an ancient guardian that protects people from nightmares. Unlike many demons and spirits, Baku does not instill fear. Instead, it serves as a keeper of peaceful sleep. Legends of Baku date back to the 14th century in Japan. Descriptions of this creature varied greatly. In some stories, it appeared as a hybrid of different animals: an elephant's head, tiger's paws, a bear's body, and an ox's tail. In other sources, it was described more like a giant mystical tapir with glowing yellow eyes. Its size also changed depending on the tail, from the size of an ordinary beast to a towering giant capable of covering a person in its shadow. It was believed that if you said aloud before sleeping, "Baku, devour my dream," the creature would consume your nightmare and prevent evil from entering your mind. However, there was a warning. If Baku remained hungry, it might take not only bad dreams, but also good ones, leaving a person with a dreamless void. But can Baku be encountered in real life? Of course, there is no direct evidence of its existence. However, its image is widespread in Japanese culture. You can see depictions of Baku on amulets, ancient scrolls, and as carved figurines in temples. In modern Japan, it appears in anime, manga, and even as toys, continuing to protect children's dreams. Baku is one of the rare mythical creatures that people do not fear, but rather call upon for help. Have you ever heard of a creature that can kill you with just a look? Yeah, I'm talking about the basilisk, the ultimate king of snakes. According to medieval legends, this thing hatches from an egg laid by a rooster and incubated by a toad. Sounds crazy, right? Imagine a mix between a snake and a chicken that can literally burn everything down with its gaze. In some versions, it looked like a giant cobra, while others described it with legs and even wings, almost like a dragon. But here's the twist. The basilisk can be defeated with a mirror. If it sees its own reflection, boom, instant death. Another weakness? The crowing of a rooster. Apparently, basilisks absolutely hate that sound and just drop dead when they hear it. What's really cool is that the basilisk has been used in culture for centuries. In medieval times, it appeared on coats of arms as a symbol of death and power. And today you can find it in books, movies, and even video games. Have you ever noticed those creepy stone creatures sitting on the rooftops of old cathedrals? Those terrifying winged monsters are gargoyles, and their history is way more mysterious than you might think. Gargoyles first appeared over 700 years ago in France. The earliest mentions date back to the 13th century, when they were placed on Gothic cathedrals like the famous Notre Dame de Paris. But the word gargoyle actually comes from an even older legend about a dragon named Gargouille, who was slain by Saint Romanus. Originally, gargoyles were used as waterspouts to drain rainwater away from buildings. But why make them look so scary? Well, back in the Middle Ages, people believed these stone creatures protected churches and cities from evil spirits. But here's where it gets really interesting. According to some legends, gargoyles come to life at night. They roam the city, hunting demons and keeping the streets safe. But as soon as the sun rises, they turn back into stone. Now, the real question is, could gargoyles exist in real life? Well, no one's ever seen a statue come to life, but their concept is similar to real predators. Many animals, like owls or hawks, guard their territory just like gargoyles in legends. And even today, cities use fake predator statues to scare away pigeons, kind of like medieval gargoyles. So next time you walk past an old cathedral, look up. Who knows? Something might be watching you. Mythical creatures have always been part of our culture. Some are terrifying, others are fascinating, but they all make us wonder, what if there's some truth to these legends? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. There are even more amazing stories ahead.